Can James Rodríguez actually carry Colombia to the promised land? As a South American football fan, my heart is beating at 1,000 miles an hour. Just 2 years ago, we watched this incredible team capture the imagination of the entire world during their heroic march to the Copa America final. Now, as they prepare to step onto the pitch at the roaring Vancouver Stadium on Wednesday, July 8th, the ultimate dream of a world title is only 4 wins away. But standing directly in their way is a European powerhouse that has quietly built a reputation as the tournament's most dangerous giant killer. Granit Xhaka's Switzerland does not care about your star players. They do not care about romantic narratives. They are a highly disciplined, tactically flawless machine designed to frustrate, break down, and destroy the world's best teams. Is this the moment Colombia's golden generation takes another massive step toward glory? Or are we about to witness a tactical masterclass from the Swiss? To understand where this historic round of 16 war will be won or lost, we must look at both sides of the coin. Under the passionate leadership of Néstor Lorenzo, Colombia is playing some of the most beautiful and fluid football on the planet. But tournament football is incredibly cruel, and Murat Yakin Switzerland is an absolute nightmare to break down in a knockout match. Both teams had to survive intense, high-pressure battles to reach this stage. Switzerland put on an absolute defensive masterclass in the round of 32, brushing Algeria aside with a comfortable 2-0 victory, thanks to clinical goals from Breel, Embolo, and Ndoye. Colombia, on the other hand, had to fight for every single blade of grass against a highly physical Ghana side, eventually securing their place in the round of 16, with a hard-fought, dramatic 1-0 victory sealed by a brilliant 14th-minute strike from John Arias. So, how do both teams line up for this tactical chess match? To unlock the stubborn Swiss defense, Lorenzo is expected to deploy Colombia's highly energetic, creative 4-2-3-1 system. The experienced Camilo Vargas will start in goal. The defensive backline will feature the tireless Daniel Muñoz, the recovery pace of Davinson Sanchez, the physical John Lucami, and Johan Moika. In the engine room, the relentless double pivot of Jefferson Lerma and Richard Rios will look to control the physical battle, allowing the creative trio of John Arias, the electric Luis Díaz, and the legendary captain James Rodríguez to pull the strings. Up front, the physical and hard-working John Cordoba will lead the line to disrupt the Swiss central defenders. Yakin's Switzerland will counter this South American flair with their highly structured, defensively compact 3-4-2-1 formation. The world-class Gregor Kobel will guard the post behind a rock-solid back three of Nico Elvedi, Manuel Akanji, and Ricardo Rodriguez. Silvan Widmer and Mikel Abisher will fly down the flanks as industrious wingbacks, flanking the tireless central midfield partnership of Remo Freuler and the captain, Granit Xhaka. In the attacking midfield zone, the creative spark of Ruben Vargas and the explosive Dan Ndoye will operate just behind the lethal Breel Embolo up front. So, where will this tactical warfare be won or lost? The ultimate battleground lies in the central midfield zone. Switzerland's defensive structure is incredibly narrow and compact. Granit Xhaka is the master of control, sitting deep to shield his backline and cutting off passing lanes. If Colombia tries to force direct passes through the middle, Xhaka and Freuler will easily intercept them and launch rapid transitions. Colombia must use quick horizontal ball circulation to drag the Swiss wingbacks out of position. This will create isolated one-on-one situations on the left flank for Luis Díaz. If Díaz can isolate Silvan Widmer and force Manuel Akanji to slide over to help, it will open up a tiny pocket of space at the edge of the box. That split-second window is all James Rodríguez needs to find a defense-splitting pass or unleash a trademark curler into the top corner. However, Switzerland possesses a counter-attacking transition game that can make any defense in the world look incredibly foolish. Dan Ndoye does not stay central. He loves to drift into the wide areas to exploit the spaces left behind by Colombia's attacking fullbacks. If Daniel Muñoz pushes too high to support the attack, Ndoye will isolate Lucami in dangerous, open-space foot races. Combined with the physical hold-up play of Breel Embolo, the Swiss can transition from defense to attack in a matter of seconds. Davinson Sanchez must play the match of his life, using his recovery speed to stop these long balls before Embolo or Ndoye can turn and run. But what if 90 minutes are not enough? What if Gregor Kobel produces a legendary performance and keeps Colombia's stars frustrated? As the clock ticks away, the immense physical demands of containing Colombia's high-tempo attack will take a massive toll on Switzerland's defensive line. This is where squad depth must settle the tie. While Switzerland's starting 11 will completely empty their tanks, Lorenzo has the luxury of bringing fresh, world world-class game-changers off the bench. Colombia can unleash the raw, physical power of John Duran, the magical creativity of Juan Fernando Quintero, or the direct attacking threat of Luis Sinisterra to run at a heavily fatigued Swiss defense. If this grueling battle goes down to a nerve-shredding penalty shootout, the psychological war will reach historic levels. Switzerland boasts Gregor Kobel, an elite, highly imposing shot stopper who is incredibly difficult to beat from 12 yards out. But standing in Colombia's goal is Camilo Vargas, carrying the massive confidence of multiple clean sheets and immense tournament experience. Facing either keeper under the pressure of a World Cup knockout stage is a mountain that very few players in the world can climb. Ultimately, who walks away with the ticket to the quarterfinals? Switzerland's defensive unity, tactical discipline, and the orchestrating genius of Granit Xhaka make them incredibly difficult to break down. But Colombia's sheer individual quality, the electrifying form of Luis Díaz, the emotional gravity of James Rodríguez's dream campaign, and their superior bench depth should eventually break the Swiss resistance. We predict an incredibly tense, hard-fought 2-1 victory for Colombia after extra time. It will be a match that tests our nerves to the absolute limit, but the South American passion and champion mentality will shine through, keeping the ultimate Colombian fairy tale alive. What do you think? Can Granit Xhaka and Switzerland silence the South American crowd? Or will James Rodríguez keep the dream alive? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. See you at kickoff. Bye for now.